This song was The Rock playing a rapper in a movie rather than being a rapper. Welcome to the Kevin Clancy Show. I've been in this game over a decade, and I knew I needed a place where I could run wild on my own solo podcast, where I tell personal stories, I deep dive into conspiracy theories, we rip through the current events of the day, and we do sit-down conversations with the most interesting people on the internet. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss an episode. What's up, you mutts? It's another episode of the Kevin Clancy Show, Spite Tour Phase 2, Episode 14. It's our monthly edition of Behind the Blog. Every month, about the second week of the month, we do a interview with an in-house Barstool personality where you learn all about them, who they are, who they were as kids, their upbringing, where they're from, and how they ended up at Barstool. This month, was a no-brainer to pick Brianna because she is going to be, and already basically is on the path to be the next Alex Cooper. And I'm not talking about her content because they are very different. I'm talking about her star power and the success that she's about to see. Know the name. You probably already know the name. And if you don't know the name, you're about to know the name because this chick is about to take off. And there's a reason why I sat down with her because I have done a little bit. I've had I've been lucky enough to do a little bit of content with her in the form of Surviving Barstool, and she's popped on my show Friday Night Pints before. And like immediately, I can tell when someone is going to be able to hang at Barstool and if they're going to be a contributor and a success. By now, I've been here since 2009. We're going on, 11, 12 years. And I've seen people come and go, and I can tell usually pretty much right off the bat from like our just conversation between us whether or not you've got the personality that fits. Not to say if you're talented or not, but just whether you're a fit here and you're gonna make it in this internet world where you got to be like tough and creative and interesting and all that shit. And I knew immediately with Brianna, and I think I am where a lot of people are right now with Brianna. I put out a couple clips teasing this interview. And a lot of people were like, her, like the girl who parties on TikTok, the chick who's just like drunk and hungover in her videos. And I will admit, when I first found out she was hired, I was kind of like, is that it? Is that what this girl does? And within a couple minutes of just consuming any of her content, and then within, a few minutes of doing content with her, I knew there was so much more than that. And that's why I wanted to do this interview. For everybody who's saying like who or why, why does this chick have a job at Barstool? You're about to fucking find out why. Because this interview, I was already on board. I already believed in her. And then after learning everything about her, this interview is for the haters and for the doubters, for the people who are just so inclined to be like, who's this chick? She's just a hot girl. Who, doesn't matter. It's like, no. This girl from day one, from when time she was like a little kid, was putting out content whether she knew it or not. And her upbringing and what she went through with her family and how her star is rising here, like so much more to this girl than, drunk TikToks or partying on TikTok, which is so funny too, because I got people, one dude said to me, he just put, quote, "We promise the content won't change," which I think is in reference to when we got acquired by Chernin or when Penn bought us. Using this as some sort of example of how the content has changed. It's like, brother, you want to go back to the old days of Barstool where we were at the Blackout Tour, where we went from college to college, partying and drinking, and now Brianna is doing her own college tour? If anything, Bri is like a throwback to like the down and dirty, grimy Barstool days. So I know that that's always been a complaint of some Barstool fans is the old school versus the new school, but Brianna ain't the girl to make that argument. I mean, she is as like old school as it gets. She doesn't give a fuck, that girl. So, the people who long for the old Barstool days are funny to me. I get it because nostalgia is the most powerful force on earth. They don't make them like they used to is something that carries on generation after generation. And it's always warped in a way. And it certainly is with Barstool, where it's like things have changed, but when people reference individual pieces of content at Barstool. Oh, it's not like when they did the Combine, or oh, it's not like they did King Richard's Fair, or oh, it's not like when Big Cat went to the aquarium. That's like it. They mentioned like 3, 4, 5 videos max on repeat. That's what they long for. Because it took, like, we put out like 1 or 2 videos a year back then. Now you're getting so much more content from so much more of a diverse group, which I understand is like, you know, you want your OGs and you don't like change and you don't want new people. But I wouldn't do an interview with someone on Behind the Blog if they didn't have like the full cosign from me as a, you know, active, like, contributing worthy member of Barstool. So, I mean, cannot recommend enough listening to this, because when you learn about what Bree did with, you know, the family situation she had to power through, and the type of girl she was growing up and what she was doing and how she's now parlaying that into this success here. She's a down-ass chick. She's one down-ass bitch. She's a ride-or-die chick that I think a lot of people who either wrote her off right away or casted their judgment right away or decided because she's just a girl, whatever their reasoning was, this interview is to prove you wrong. So if you already knew Bree, this interview, you'll love getting to hear all the new details about it. A couple times throughout the sit down, she says like, I never talk about these things. So you get some new behind the scenes information. If you already liked Bree and knew her, you're gonna love that. If you didn't know Bree, welcome to the show. And if you are a Bree hater, you watch this interview. And if you still don't like this girl, the problem's with you, brother. Because there's not much to dislike about Brianna LaPaglia, let me tell you that much. First, we got to get into a couple of things. It's brought to you by Bare Bottom. I'm rocking them right now. The Bare Bottom joggers. At this point in my life, let me tell you a little story. The other day, I picked up my daughter from school. And it was a surprise, because ordinarily it was a weekday when her nanny would pick her up. And so I said, I'm free, I'll go do it. So the door opens, and I'm there. And Shay walks out, her busted little arm. She kind of looks around. She scans. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm right in front of her. And she kind of went past me. And then she sees me, comes running over. And she says to me, I didn't even recognize you, Daddy, because you're wearing jeans. That's tough. When a 5.5-year-old is basically telling you that, you know, constantly wearing the sweatpants in public is starting to become a bit of an issue, that was a wake-up call. Not even like I showed up in a suit. Like if I showed up in a suit and tie and she was like, oh my God, Daddy, I've never seen you dressed up. Like she probably hasn't. I mean, I don't wear one to work. I don't think I've ever been in a suit in front of my daughter. But just jeans? Shay was that fucking stunned that she looked right through me, looked right past me as if I was a different human because I had some goddamn denim on. Because your boy's just been wearing Moon Man lounge pants and fucking Barstool indoors pants for the last, 2 years because of the pandemic. Wink, wink, because of the pandemic. Yeah, okay. But I was rocking these right here. These bare bottom, the denim joggers. These are the only pants that are helping me survive as a still functioning member of society. Bare bottom is the only reason I'm still, when people say like they retire from public life, bare bottom is the only reason I'm still in public life. Because I've got these light blue denim ones, I've got a pair of black denim ones, I've got a black pair of khaki type of material, like a chino material, as well as the olives, and that's all I rock. Light blue, black, and olive green in this jogger form, which is like presentable jeans, but also I'm pretty fucking comfortable right now. So it's the only pair of pants I'm wearing outside of like sweats, and it's the only shirt that I wear now. They got the long sleeve tees, they've got the short sleeve tees that are made of this material that I'll flat out tell you, I've been asking our merch team, we got to make our own version of this that has like some sort of soft material. They can't even match it. They can't figure it out. I don't know where these things are manufactured, but we can't figure out how Bare Bottom does it. So go to barebottomclothing.com/Clancy right now. You can get a $5 discount on your order. Get the joggers, get the pants. It's a classic, clean look, and then maybe your daughter will fucking recognize you again. Maybe I'll start wearing these enough that she'll know that her father is not a complete and total bum. Shout out to Shay. barebottomclothing.com/Clancy. All right, so we'll get to Bree in a minute, but first I got 3 bones to pick. 3 problems. Number 1, I got to talk to the girls. I got to talk to the girls out there who, there's been a few trends that girls have been utilizing or perpetuating in recent months. And I've talked about them before. One of them is the use of gaslight. They love to say gaslight. They use it no matter what. They say every boy, every guy is gaslighting them when guys are just trying to explain like their side of the story or how it affected them or how they view it or why they're being crazy. It's like, yeah, sometimes guys throw around crazy too much. Girls are definitely throwing around gaslight too much because sometimes you're not being gaslit. Sometimes you're just fucking crazy. Number 2 is the term narcissist. Everything a guy has ever said that even slightly references themselves, you're a narcissist. You're a raging narcissist. It's like we're in a relationship. There's only 2 people here. A lot of the times we're talking about how your behavior and actions and whatever make me feel. So if I'm talking about that, like, yeah, we're going to be talking about our own opinions and feelings in a 2-person relationship. That doesn't make you fucking narcissistic. What are we talking about? That's all old hat, though. The third thing, girls have now somehow claimed I'm sorry as something female when it's more just something for all awkward people. Girls have now, I've seen it from podcasters to people who are making content, to regular people in normal life, talking about how girls apologize too much. And, you know, they're conditioned to say, I'm sorry. And it's a workplace thing where business men have always kind of looked down on women. So they're so programmed to say, I'm sorry, and they shouldn't be apologizing. And I'm all good with that. That is true. And that shouldn't happen. You should never apologize for anything that you have not done wrong or you don't feel the need to apologize for. But don't act like awkward apologies are just a female thing. I've been out here awkwardly apologizing as a guy my whole fucking life. I've been out here having awkward interactions my whole fucking life as a dude. It doesn't have to, we don't have to worry. It doesn't have anything to do with the pay gap. It doesn't have anything to do with the matriarch or the patriarch. It doesn't have anything to do with what, our caveman and woman ancestors have biologically in our DNA. Anybody, when they're faced with an awkward situation, you just say, oh, I'm sorry. You bump into someone, oh, I'm sorry. You get something wrong hey, shit, sorry. You've inconvenienced someone in a way, sorry. We all just fucking say sorry, right? It's only the ultra confident people, whether they're men or women, who will just bowl somebody over and not even throw out an awkward I'm sorry. For the same reason that you throw a ha-ha at the end of your text. When it's like, I'm being dead ass serious about this, but I don't want to get in a fight or act like I'm being like some, high horse asshole. So I'll just throw a ha-ha. Or I'll give you an LOL. You're fighting with your significant other, and it's just like, well, then why would you do that, LOL? Like, what? You're not laughing out loud when you said, why would you do that? That makes no fucking sense. Throwing out the superfluous crying smiley face or the LOL or the ha-ha to try to soften whatever it is you're saying, that is the text version of the real life I'm sorry. Because you can't just laugh like a maniacal asshole. You can't say LOL. You can't become the laughing, crying meme. So you just say to people, sorry. That doesn't just belong to you, girls, okay? I get it. Maybe you're apologizing more. Maybe it's harder for you. But I just want people to know that there's awkward men out there who are doing the same goddamn thing. You don't get to claim I'm sorry. We're all fucking weirdos. We're all social misfits. We all have very little self-esteem, and we're all apologizing when we shouldn't. And that can be, we all band together, guys and girls. It's gonna unite us all into one awkward gender where we don't know how to behave during complex social situations. Can't take I'm sorry from me. My second bone to pick is with this fucking guy who I almost had a full-blown road rage. I almost had like a full-blown road rage incident on the West Side Highway the other day. So this bone to pick goes out to this fucking guy. I will never forget his face. I'm on the West Side Highway, I'm driving into Manhattan. This dude's in a van, a white, like rapist van, and he stopped short. So I stopped short. We don't hit. There's no collision. There's no accident. It was close. But he stopped short, then I stopped short. And then we're stuck we stay there for a second. And I'm like, oh, wait, what the fuck happened? I'm looking around. I'm like, there's no traffic really. All of a sudden, I see the door fly open. And I was like, oh, is this guy gonna puke right now? Because the door opened, but nothing happened. So there's a solid couple seconds. And I thought he was gonna lean over and puke. And I'm like, what is happening here? And this dude gets out and turns and looks at me. And he just gives me this ice grill. Just give me the stank eye. Just fucking grinding his teeth. But over nothing. There was nothing it wasn't like he got out to check the damage. There was no reason for it other than we both just stopped short. I don't know why he stopped short. I just stopped because he stopped. And he gets in, he's just staring at me. And I was like, is this about to go down? And it also took a solid couple seconds. So I'm like, this guy definitely leaned into the glove box and grabbed his gun before he did this. And I'm not about to get out of the car, but I'm also like, what the fuck is going on here? So I kind of look at him and I just give him a shrug. I'm like, get back in your fucking car. What are you doing? Now you're just causing traffic for everybody trying to get into work. So this dude gets back in his car, and then we do the only thing that's logical. We have ourselves an imaginary race. And it's pretty rare that you find someone else on the road who's willing to engage in an imaginary, unsanctioned street race with you. I race someone every day of my life. Every day I'm driving in, I'll pick a car that's a little bit ahead of me, and I'll be like, that white BMW, I'm gonna beat that guy to the finish line. What's the finish line? My exit where I get off. And then I'm weaving in and out. I'm trying to take different ways, trying to run through yellow lights, get around people, passing people, cutting them off, trying to get up riding on his bumper to get around him. All of a sudden it's Ford versus Ferrari, and this race is just happening up in my head. This guy has no clue what's going on, but little does he know, he's my biggest adversary for the day. And then if we get to that same exit and I blow past him, in my head I'm fucking pouring milk out, waving the checkered flag. I got babes in Monaco hanging on my arms. I'm I'm Lewis Hamilton right now. I'm sitting in a Hyundai Tucson, by the way, with a banged up side panel, fucking no registration, just, a shitty engine. The check engine light's back on, by the way, anybody who's followed my story. But this guy, because we had a full-blown road rage stare down, now it's on, and he's racing me. And so we're absolutely reckless out of our minds, but we're cutting across lanes, we're riding each other close, he's cutting me off, I'm cutting him off, and for nothing, for no fucking reason. This guy picked a fight with his stare down, but I think he just wanted to do an imaginary, unsanctioned road race like all guys do. That's something I don't know if chicks do. I feel like girls are not typically going to be the ones who are just picking out a guy, being like, oh, that guy, you see that guy? He kind of cut me off. He kind of revved his engine a little bit. Oh, he tried to go faster than me. Anybody on the road that, if I'm in the left lane and anybody comes up on me going faster, rather than just move over, let them pass me, I'm like, you're not going fucking faster than me. Pedal to the metal. All of a sudden I'm going 90, all because someone behind me wanted to go 90. Because I have some sort of weird, in my mind, I'm on NASCAR, I'm on it's Daytona 500. This is my fucking racetrack. Everywhere I go. Dropping kids off at school. Maybe not say that. Everywhere I go. I'm driving around town. I'm on the highway. I'm on back streets. Doesn't matter. We're fucking racing and it's my road. But this guy, to have him engage back was all out warfare. I mean, obviously I won. This fucking guy. You know what was perfect? See, I race pretty smart. I'm a fucking smart racer, man. When I'm having these imaginary races, I play it cool. And it's almost like a tortoise and the hare thing. I'll lay back in the cut a little bit knowing that I'm gonna hit this lane and I'm right lane to freedom, So he was the asshole. He was the one trying to pick a fight. He's flying all over, brake checking me, cutting other people off, being an asshole to everyone else. Next thing you know, he boxes himself in and I hit the other side. Flying, see you fucking later. I get off at 30th Street. I win the race. Just a bone to pick with that guy. I almost got to thank him, though, because there's nothing quite like having those races. Racing people, in this case, he knew about it, but racing people who don't know they're racing you is one of the funnest. It's one of the, like, the small little slices of joy I still have in life. Little bits of adrenaline and excitement where it's just like, I'm going to pretend to race this guy so that I can get my fucking rocks off for the day. One of the true joys in life that I hope never ends. I will imaginarily race you and your family any fucking time we're on the road, whether you know about it or not. My third bone to pick, I hate to say it, it's with The Rock. No, it's not with The Rock. I'll never have a bone to pick with The Rock. It's with the fans of The Rock. The Rock has put out a new song, his first song, really, a rap song called Face Off, produced by Tech9, that's a real hip-hop producer, a real name in the rap game. And The Rock has put out a song. And it's number 1 on iTunes. It's number 6. It was the number 1 rap song in the world. It was like the number 6 overall song in the world. It was the number 1 YouTube video on the entire platform. And of course it is, because he's The Rock and he's the most successful guy in the world, and everything he does will always go to the top of the charts. And The Rock is now posting on his Instagram people watching the rap video for the first time and reacting. This song stinks. It's a bad song. And it's crazy. I'm almost surprised how bad it is, because The Rock, like when The Rock was singing on Moana, when The Rock is Maui, he can kind of spit. He kind of was like spitting bars and singing, and it like sounded okay. And now he did a rap song, and he tried to become a rapper, and it just turned into this whole fucking thing where he was like slam poetry. This song was The Rock playing a rapper in a movie rather than being a rapper. Like, it turned into this like slam poetry thing where he was like, it's about rock, it's about determination, it's about intimidation, face off. It's like a jittery spoken word rather than rapping. Like, and then he drops the what's my motherfucking name, and it's supposed to be this big thing. The Rock saying motherfucker, and it felt like a rap that you would see on it felt like a rap on ABC NBA Finals promotional packages. Like leading into Game 7, there's a rapper in this dark room, and it's about grit, it's about determination, it's about intimidation. It's like, oh my God, what is that? It was so not The Rock. And then it just turns into this overly sensationalized cartoon character. It's trying to bop around and doing the face-off thing and trying to spit double time. I don't know. It's fine. It's The Rock, and he's being a tough guy, and I get it. But the people who were making Instagram reaction videos, being yo, the motherfucking Rock can rap. The Rock can spit. The Rock has bars. Felt like Eminem wrote 16 bars of words that rhyme with ination at the end, and he just spit all of them as fast as he could. I don't know. The Rock, love you, man. You said that my podcast was destined for greatness. I'll never forget that. We're basically like brothers. Me, you, Rocky Dale Davis Jr., we're like a trio, man. Keep putting out the music. Keep putting out, you know what, Rock, you don't need advice from me. But the people reacting to that acted like we just got a hip hop classic. Come on, let's pump the brakes a little bit, no? So yeah, The Rock, technically, you're off the hook, Rock. You don't have to worry. I don't have a bone to pick with you. I just got a bone to pick with some of your fans. All right, let's do it now. Behind the Blog with Brianna LaPaglia. Well, speaking of fans, welcome to any of Brianna's fucking army of chicks who are hopefully here to listen, whether you're listening on the podcast or you're watching on the YouTube. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this sit down. I love having these conversations with people here at Barstool because it opens up a whole other side of them. And I can tell that Brianna knows that some people think she's just the party chick from TikTok. And oh, that's just the girl who's getting drunk in Miami, or the girl that I saw hungover on Reels the other day. And I know, and she knows, and anybody who's been around her knows that there's so much more to it and so much more ahead. And so this was the first opportunity for her to really like put all of that and put all of herself out there. So I hope any of the Brie fans enjoy learning every last little bit about where she came from and who she is. I hope the Brie haters realize how fucking wrong and inaccurate they were about their assumptions about this girl. And I thank Brianna for coming to sit down and talk about it, because a lot of that shit probably isn't easy, and it's a lot of stuff she said she has never spoken about before. And so I appreciate her doing it here on the Kevin Clancy Show. So let's get into it. Behind the Blog, featuring Brie. It's brought to you by Thursday Boots. Now, Brie is going to have a long-lasting career because she is tough, she is durable, and she is high quality, just like Thursday Boots. Got my new boots here. High quality, comes in the nice packaging here. Oh my God, that leather smell. That new leather smell on a pair of just like classic boots. Dark brown, quality leather, quality laces with the hooks here. Military style, kind of a high ankle. That quality Thursday boot, rubber sole material. I mean, these are just like strong boots that you can rock. Kind of, you know, whether you are just want to go out to like brunch and look stylish with a dark boot for fall, or if you need to actually do, you know, boot type shit, Thursday Boots has high quality boots at an affordable price for you in every which way. We've designed our own boots in the past with them. We've done leather boots. We've done suede boots, high top, mid top. Olive color, brown color, black color, every style of boots you can imagine, they've got you covered. They're one of the companies that has been advertising with us since their inception, and we've watched them completely explode. We've watched them grow on social, we've watched them grow in business, and we're happy to be a partner with them for a long time now. So head over to ThursdayBoots.com, get yourself a pair of high quality boots for the fall and the winter. Whether you are, you know, going to be traipsing through the snow or you just want to look sharp and stylish, they got you covered with high-quality boots at affordable prices that are always in style. Go to ThursdayBoots.com for a timeless classic, just like I'm predicting from my girl Brie here. It's Behind the Blog with Brianna LaPaglia. Let's get into it. All right. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Brianna LaPaglia on Behind the Blog.
Yes.
LaPaglia, Chickenfry, what do we do here? We go by Brie, Brianna, you got a million different names kind of now.
Well, I've been going by Brie because everyone called me Brianna, and that makes me go absolutely like ape shit. I hate that.
No,
so
Brianna.
It's just Brie. Brie Chickenfry, I guess.
Chickenfry was, you just kind of threw that out there?
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
I
hate it so
girl,
much.
I can relate because
I
I think KFC Radio is the worst name the podcast has ever had in the history of the world.
Yeah, but it's so good. But
no,
you
it's
hate
really
it.
not, though. I mean, I just started it, though, so long ago, and I was just kind of like, that was back when we were throwing shit against the wall, and I was like, I don't know, like, I listened to radio called WFAN, now I'm KFC, like, just letters, radio, whatever, and then it stuck, and people were like, is it a podcast or a radio? Is it about chicken? Is it the... So we equally have dumb chicken names.
Chicken fry.
Where did Chicken Fry come from?
Stupid. When I first started my TikTok, I was in college, I was drunk, and I was eating chicken fries from Burger King, and I had a viral Vine like years and years ago where I said that my leg looked like a chicken fry. I was like, this is perfect, I'll just do Brianna Chicken Fry. Right. Didn't think that it was gonna like stick and I was gonna be Chicken Fry, and now like people see me, they call me like Chicken McNugget, they just call me
Every
Chicken,
variation.
they call me Chickie. I'm like, this is brutal, it's so brutal.
I mean, it's, in a way, I think it makes sense that, like, it shows that you weren't, like, trying to force it, that it is kind of like a genuine story of, like, I'm just a fucking chick making funny TikToks, and all of a sudden it blew up. Like, it would almost be weird if you were like, what's my TikTok? Because one day I'm going to be big, and
I know.
You know what I mean?
That
Then
kinda
you
is
probably
weird.
wouldn't be where you are today if you were that type of person, you know?
It's more organic. I had no idea what was ahead for me at all.
Yeah, we've talked before about changing the name, and, like, we don't have a good thing to change it to, but also there's enough, like, brand equity with that. Like, people know the name.
Yeah,
so,
you can't.
like, you change Chicken Fry now, there might be people who are like, wait, what?
Who
no,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Mike Stud. He just goes by Mike now. It's like, I don't know about that.
I get why you try to do it, but, like, it's too late.
It's too late.
You know,
yeah,
like,
you're
it's
too far
stuck.
in. You can't just change it all
And
up.
also, it's like, maybe you don't like it, but like your fans either
love
like it or don't care one way or the other.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
No,
It's
they
just
eat it
a
up,
name.
and it's easy. Chicken fry.
Yeah.
My last name, no one can say it, so.
Yeah, that helps too. And like you said, chicken McNuggets, chicky, like it
Yeah.
actually lends itself
Whatever.
to.
It's funny too.
But yeah, I did read that little bit about. I'm remembering that you said you just made it up on a whim in the New York Post article,
Yeah.
which is perfect timing to do this because I mean that's your first big expose,
anything.
right?
Yeah, first big anything. I've never, like, during COVID, I got offered to do like a lot of press and whatever, but I like didn't realize how big I was becoming, and I didn't know that that was important to do. Also, like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I don't have anyone helping me, so I was just like, no, I don't need to do that. I'm just doing this. And then I told my mom about the New York Post, and she's like, you have to do that. I'm like, is that a big deal? And I guess it was a big deal. So.
Yeah, well, the way they did it too, like the photo shoot, and you're wearing
Yeah.
like the fancy clothes, and it's like, bam, that was pretty cool. I mean, the Post is, the Post, but that was a very cool moment, I thought. And I again, to go back to like me coming up with the name, like I can tell that you don't really, it's not like fully registering yet what's going on.
But I really don't think it ever will. You know what's weird that everyone keeps saying to me?
If you've made it this far, that means you like this content. Make sure you click subscribe so that you see everything we put out on this channel.